What a weird time we are in. What a bizarre, unbearably sad time it is. And I am sending you so much love in this video. I really hope you are doing well as you can be, considering the circumstances. And that's kind of what this video is on, but like not too much of a downer, because I'm very aware that there's a lot of down happening. I would like to put forward some thoughts that I have had that could and hopefully will help you, and also me and all of us, in this bizarre sort of TV show style situation that we're in. It's very weird, isn't it? It's like a film, but like a really boring film that kind of just goes on a little bit too long. It's like a sci-fi film that hasn't been edited very well. That's what this feels like. One of the issues that I have about talking about this particular topic is that it is so different for every single person. It's affected us all massively, but in very, very different ways. So finding a universal topic or point of perspective has been difficult, but there's a few kind of blanket points, or relatively blanket points, that I would like to make. And the first point I would like to make is I've seen a lot of people talking about how this time that we've been given, for those of us who, you know, are not key workers and who are not working for the NHS or in your country's version of, you know, the healthcare system, we've been talking about how we have this time now to get things done, to work and to hustle and to build something and create something. And although I think if you are able to have the attitude that it's generally a good thing, I think it's really important to keep in mind that we, as a planet, as a society, as a world, are grieving right now. We've all lost something, and grief is a very real experience, real feeling that we have to deal with to move through. You know, some of us have lost freedom or personal space or our jobs or our ability to spend time with our friends and family. Maybe you've lost your routine. Maybe you haven't had a hug in 3 weeks. Maybe you've got no toilet roll. You know, we've all lost something here. It's not just about, I think positive thinking is great, generally speaking. But when it comes to really raw negative feelings like grief and mourning, essentially, we cannot just dismiss them. And we've all lost something vitally important. Even if we're just grieving, you know, for the planet as a whole, these are very real feelings that need to be dealt with. And simply thinking positively is not going to help the situation. It's merely going to distract us from it. So obviously my own situation is the only one that I really have to go off. But I've been trying to see my new situation as a gift of time. Not having enough time was an obstacle before. Now I have enough time. I should be getting work done. I should be working on projects like YouTube and my music and all that kind of thing. But the issue is that in order to get things done, or to hustle, or to, you know, build something, it's not just time that you need. You need energy and you need attention as well. And this is such an emotionally exhausting time. Our energy supplies and our focus is going to be going elsewhere. It's more than we're used to handling. And I feel like in order for me to have this spare time, I've had to make sacrifices. And I say that as if it was a choice. I didn't make sacrifices. I had something taken from me. So I have something to grieve. I have the fact that, you know, I love my job. I'm self-employed, so it's my only source of income. That is the cost for what I now have. I now have time, but it has cost me something. And it's all very well just thinking about, you know, on the bright side and thinking of the time that I have and what I can spend that on. But I have to grieve what I've lost. I have to acknowledge it, and just simply ignoring it and pretending that everything's fine isn't going to help me overcome this sort of emotional turmoil. I mean, turmoil sounds so dramatic, but turmoil, we'll go for that. I guess I felt it was really important that I say that if you feel like you should be using this time or taking advantage of this time, then don't worry if you don't feel like it. Because if you really think about the situation that we have here, of course you're not going to feel like it. Why would you feel like it? It's not a normal time. You're not expected to feel normal. But by acknowledging that and by seeing it as grief, because that's what it is, we've lost something. By seeing it as grief, we can maybe move through it and move past it and grow from it and become better from it, rather than just ignoring it and thinking, no, I'm going to think positively here, always look on the bright side, you know, hustle, live in, we can do it. We have to acknowledge that we have lost something in order to properly appreciate what we have gained. And that is so important, and I'm not seeing anyone talking about that enough, so I'm going to talk about it here. If you don't feel like working hard right now, of course you don't. Don't worry about it. Look after yourself, and maybe soon you will, but you certainly won't if you keep on being impatient with yourself. The second point that I would like to make is, again, we are grieving, we are sad. And it is likely that we will look for some form of comfort. And I would like to just make the point that we should all be wary of distractions. So there are many forms of distractions. We could be learning a new skill, or we could be creating something. These are fantastic distractions because they actively contribute to our lives. We can grow from them. But then there are also distractions which are so much fun. Things like playing on games, watching films, watching TV shows, drinking alcohol. These kind of things which are distracting and fun in the moment, but not necessarily that good at contributing overall. I'm not saying they never contribute, I'm just saying generally speaking, they don't really contribute that much. Because like I was saying, grief is something that has to be dealt with. And we are in a universal state of mourning in some respect. This is a really sad time, and we have to deal with the situation that we're in mentally. I mean, we can't just ignore what's going on right now. We have to contend with it in some way. And if you constantly seek out distractions, those sort of slightly destructive, sometimes slightly destructive distractions, then that might be something you just need to be wary of. I'm not saying don't ever do it, because I have built myself a wonderful haven in Minecraft that I enjoy visiting, and everything's a lot more simple there than it is here. But I can't live there. It doesn't contribute to my life other than me having a bit of fun, which is great. But I know that it wouldn't be right to seek too much comfort from it because it isn't real. So, have a little think of all of the things in your life that you might lean towards when it comes to comforting yourself or distracting yourself or keeping yourself busy. Which things are contributing to your life, making your life better, and which are maybe the equivalent of just kind of looking away from a car crash kind of thing, just like pretending it's not happening. The third point I would like to make is sort of in response to my first point, and that is you have the right to use this time exactly how you see fit. So again, I'm sorry, I know I'm kind of going off my own personal experience of having more time. I know that not all of us do, but I have certainly found myself in a kind of scarcity mindset way of thinking, in that I don't see it necessarily right to profit from a bad situation. So there's something bad happening and I have ended up with a whole bunch of time. If I use that time to create something good, have I created something out of other people's misery? Like, that's how it feels. But that's not right. That is not right, because it's not as if there is a finite amount of happiness in this world and I'm taking it from other people. I'm just simply making the best of my circumstances. So I think it's very natural that we might feel a little bit guilty if we were to use this time to make things better, to create something, to build a business, to do something worthwhile in, because it might feel maybe undeserved, but it is deserved. And you have the right to use this time to your benefit. If you are able to use this time to work, then that's great. If you are able to use this time to rest, then that's also great. You might be seeing this as kind of like little holiday that you weren't expecting to have. And don't feel any sense of guilt that you are able to enjoy yourself while other people are not. There's not a finite amount of joy in this world. You are allowed and entitled to use this time however you see fit and to get the most out of it that you can. The fourth point I would like to make is that the likelihood of you and me and any one of us getting ourselves in a funk is very high. Very, very high. I found myself in a little one just this morning, so that was good. If you find yourself in a funk, think about exercise, food, and sleep. They are the most important things. They are like a three-legged stool, and we can only rest comfortably upon those legs if all of those legs are intact. So if you find yourself feeling a little bit depleted, a little bit sad, angry, frustrated, obviously there are many reasons why you might feel those things. But if you find yourself acting on them more than you normally would, assess the situation with your food, sleeping and exercise, because they are integral. They are so, so important. And hydration as well, actually, I should add. Exercise, hydration, food and sleep. So, so important. And the final point I would like to make is that I have been really struggling to put my thoughts into words. I have tried to make this video a few times now and have never been satisfied with it. And I ended up putting my thoughts into a song like a pretentious person. But I just find that singing or like writing a song is a good way of putting a considered message into a format that makes it seem a little bit more unscripted and a bit more raw. So I felt writing a song would be the best way of going about communicating my feelings. So I'm going to put that at the end of this video, and if you don't feel like watching it, then don't feel you have to. I hope you're all doing well. I really do. I feel like this is super difficult, not just in terms of what we globally are having to go through, but every single one of us in our own minds has a battle on, really. It's not an easy thing that we're being asked to do. And especially as we don't know how long it's going to last for. It's a really difficult time, and I'm just sending you my best. And, you know, please feel free to reach out as well if you feel like that would benefit you at all as well. Sending you loads of love. I hope you're doing okay. And I shall see you soon. Enjoy the song, hopefully. I'm not equipped with sufficient words, a written script or something overheard, a song, a poem, just something I could use to show them I hope you're okay. There's a distance that we must keep, zeros and ones in sequence that brings me to you. Old friend, resistance, yet again we compete. But I'll do all I can do. Your face looks different through the screen. Your voice sounds tinny in this badly lit scene. It should be the same, but something's left out of frame. I just hope you're okay. There's a distance that we must keep, zeros and ones in sequence that brings me to you. Old friend, resistance, yet again we compete. But I'll do all I can do. We all have demons that we must resist, attacking minds and cells, relationships and businesses. But fight, together we fight. And just hope you're alright, 'cause there's a distance that we must keep, zeros and ones in sequence that brings me to you. Old friend, resistance, yet again we compete. But I'll do all I can do. But like I said, I'm not equipped with sufficient words, just ones I learned from Marcus Aurelius. But no matter where we stand together or we fall.